files, we have seen the text file. Okay, what is the purpose of using the text file, guys? Why we have to use the files? To store the data permanently. Okay, so when you want to store the data permanently, we are going to use the files concept. Now, till now, whatever we have done it is the data was stored in the variables or the data structures temporarily. Okay, temporarily, and then you can you are using that. The life of the data structure was as long as the program was executing. There is a life of the program. Once the program is been done, then you lost the data. Okay, now the first time we are storing the data in an external storage called as files. So there are three different ways we can store the data externally. First one is a files, when there is a small volume of the data is there. Second one is a database where the large volume of the data, but it is not frequently changed. Okay. Now next, I uploaded this one, right? No. I uploaded, right? Now, sorry for that. Is it okay now? Audio? Okay. There will be two types of files will be there. Now, the Hadoop, the big data is a very, very large volume of the data. Very large volume of the data, and you will be which data is very frequently changed. That is what comes under the big data. In this, the Hadoop is a very famous one where you will be dealing with the big data. Now the types of files will be two types. One will be the text file. Second one is called as a binary file. Okay, where is that? Here is the binary file. So the text file is whenever the data is directly stored in the form of text is called as text file, and when the data is stored in the form of binary, even though there's a text will be there, but the data will be stored in the form of binary format, that is called as a binary file. Okay, now so the majorly three operations we'll be doing with the files. One is the read, write, and append. Read, write, and append. So reading means reading the data. For that, the basic prerequisite is the file should exist. If the file is not existing, we are going to get an error, file not found error. Okay, the next one is called as append. Append is if the file is exist. So it will open up the file and the data, whatever is there, will be there as it is, and you can append the data into that. You can put on the data, new data into that. But if the file is not existing, then what happens? It will create a new file with the same name what you mentioned. Now the next one is write. Now the write means all you have to remember is this is for creating a new file. Okay, now if the file doesn't exist, it will create a new file. If the file exists, this is important, it will open up the existing file, deleting the previous data. Remember that, guys. And there will be dual modes will be there. If you want to do it reading and writing, then we are going to use the R plus. Okay, now again the same formalities will be there. The file exists and we can perform n number of times, n number of reading and writing operations over here. Okay, now when I'm doing A plus, we can perform n number of times reading and appending. Okay, now Babu, bumper offer అడుగు ఇది పోవాలని చెప్పు ఎట్లా చేయాలని అడుగు టెక్నికల్ యూజువల్లీ వెళ్ళిపోతుంది ఓకే now and W plus is write and read, guys. If you want to write a file and then you want to read it from that, you will be doing it. Now the one thing you have to remember over here is the basic thing, guys. Whenever you are reading a data from the file, okay, now this is your file is there. Okay, what are the mode we can open up this file? What are the modes we can open up this file? What purpose we can open up a file? Read, write, and append, right? Read, write, and append. And you know, whenever you are opening up the file like this, now if you are opening up a file in the reading mode means what is the prerequisite? File should exist. The file should exist means file will contain some data. Okay, some or other data will be there. Now, if the data is there like this, okay, whenever you open up the file in the read mode, guys, remember that the cursor will be pointing out at the starting of the file. Cursor will be pointing at the starting. That means the file, the cursor will be pointing over here. Okay, now whenever I'm opening in the write mode, then what happens? The cursor will be again pointing out to the starting of the file only. But in this case, if the data is there, it will delete all the previous data, whatever is there, and then it will point it at the starting of the file. Okay, clear, guys? Now, if there is, I'm opening up in the append mode. Yeah. ये वाला जाना है, वो वाला. No, it will go. It is an auto will be there. It will come up and it will go. But it is not happening. Previously, it used to go. Yeah, just ask it. Okay. Now, next one is append. This is also starting, guys. Okay. Now, append. Append is ending of the file. Ending of the file. When you open up, the cursor will be pointing at this point. If you write anything, it will be entering over here. Write it. Clear, guys? Okay. Now the next thing is quickly I want to recap again. This is a functionality of the text file. So if you want to perform a dwell operation, okay, dwell operation. So now if you have the data over here, this is the data, I have it. Now I am opening in the read mode. Read mode. That means again, that is, you know, the file should exist. R plus means read and write. So by default, the data will be pointing over, the cursor will be pointing over here and it will be reading it. Then after reading, where the cursor will be pointing? At the bottom. Now, if you write anything over here, you will be writing from here. Okay, guys. Now, then where is the cursor after writing? Here is a cursor. If you want to read again over here, then from here it want to read it. What is there? Nothing is there. You will not get any output. So what we have to do it? We have to use the seek to take the cursor to the starting of the file over here. Okay, and then you will be getting all the details. Now from here, then you read it, you will get all the details. Now if you want to go to the desired location, just identify the index by using the index function of the string and you can get it. I showed you in the last class. That is what all about the text file, txt file, .txt file. Now let's move on to the CSV file. What does the CSV stands for? Comma separated value file. Okay. Now, why this is very important, guys. Really, it is very, very important. Why it is important? Why it is important? Because all the legacy system, first thing is there is no particular default format to open up the CSV file. It is generic. Okay, it is very much generic. Means, see, the CSV file can be opened in Notepad. Now, first one is this is a comma separated file. Value file. Okay, comma separated. That each and every value will be separated by the comma. And second important thing is, what is the major difference between a text file and the CSV file is there is a particular format will be there inside this. What is that format? तो वो फॉर्मेट है क्या? इलायराजा You are right, Ilaiyaraaja. Yeah, you have done the Python. You have done the files. What is that format? Will the CSV will be there? That's what he is saying. I said wrong. Anyone? It will store the data in the tabular format. What is tabular format? What is a tabular format, guys? Data, rows and column in the form of table. In the form of table. So data will be stored in the form of tabular in this. That is the reason why this is special. Now the CSV file is first, it is a comma separated value file. Okay, it is a comma separated value file, and this is a tabular format. It will store the data in the tabular format, guys. Remember this. It will store the data in tabular format. Now this is the difference between a text file and a CSV file. Now text file, I mean to say, is .txt file, and .csv file. The major difference is this: in that .txt, there's no particular format. You can dump the data like anything. There's no particular format. But in this CSV file, first thing is you have to put the data. This will be storing the data in a particular format called as tabular format, in the form of table. Now, what is a table, guys? This is table. Okay, this is table over here. Now, this table consists of rows and column. Okay, if you check it out, can you see this? Yeah, great. So this will consist of rows and columns, guys. Now, this is once for all we are discussing, because this will be, I don't want to repeat this concept again and again. This will be coming in databases. This will be coming in data structures everywhere. Now, this is the format. It consists of rows. These are called as rows. Okay, rows, and these are called as columns. Okay, these are called as column. How many rows are there? 5 rows. How many columns are there? 5 columns are there. Now, in general, just take it. Now, this is not related to our CSV file. I'm just telling in general. Now, if you are dealing with a list, guys, just take it list. A, B, C, D are there. Okay, how many elements are there in the list? How to get it? See, list of index 2, right? List of index 2. In the same way, whenever you are dealing with this tabular format, assume this as this is a collection of rows and collection of columns. Each row will be identified with a separate index. Okay, each row is identified with a separate index. Now, if I want to get it this row, now this table name is T. Now, if I want to get this row, how I'll get it? T of 2. Okay, T of 2. Now, if I want to get it, this column will be also having the indexing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now this column, if you want to represent any column, okay, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, always remember, here it is only, now see this is assumed as a row. Okay, now if you want to get the C, list of, clear, list of 2. Okay, guys, now in the same way, if I want to get any value inside this row, what you'll do it? T of 2 you will give it, right? But if there is a value at this location, 100, this is at the row 2, but which column it is? So use it one more square bracket and give it as 1. Clear, guys? Simple. Or what is the dimension of this one? What do you mean by dimension? Huh? Who said 2? Someone gave me the answer 2. You. Yeah, that's correct. Perfect. Now, what do you mean by dimension? Huh? Multiple? No. Yeah, maybe. See, simple guys. Dimension means direction. Okay? Because these concept, we are dealing it once for all. I said it quickly. I will recap it, but I'm not going to go so deeply. In this, dimension means direction. Now, if I say that one dimension means one direction, two dimension means 3 means 3. Now, what is this direction used for is in which the data is being spread up. Now, in this is a one dimension. The data is spread up in one direction. That means when the data is spread up in one direction, then that is called as one dimension. Okay, here the data is spread up in two directions. What are the two directions, guys? This is the one direction and this is the other direction, right? Two directions. So that is the reason why it is called as two dimension. Okay, now there will be 3 dimension, 4 dimension, 5 dimension, but always remember these, apart from the 2 dimension, whatever the dimensions will be there, that is just for the structure, but actual data will be stored in the 2 dimension only. Remember this point, actual data will be stored in the 2 dimension only. But if there is 3 dimension, 4 dimension means it is only a direction to this particular 2 dimension. Remember that. Okay, whenever they are giving a 3 dimension, 4 dimension, when we go to the numpys, you will be seeing this 3 dimension data, 4 dimension data, but that is only a direction. Okay, it's only a direction. It is not the actual data will be existing in that 2 dimension only. That is rows and columns. Okay, now just take it and like I will give you a small example. Excel is there. Yeah, Excel is there. Okay, guys. Now this is what format the data is stored over here? Tabular format, right? Okay, tabular format the data is stored. Now this is the row. Okay, this is the row, right? Can you see this row? Second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row, sixth row, like this. And this is the column, right? This is the column. Now see this. This is one sheet. This is the sheet. Okay. Now this is another sheet. This is sheet 1. This is sheet 2. Now sheet 1, I will give it as the name over here, student data. Okay, just I am giving student data. Now this is the sheet 2. Okay, now what is this? I will give it employee data. Okay guys, how many sheets are there? 2 sheets. But these 2 sheets are where it is? Excel workbook. There will be a workbook will be there. Inside that there are 2 sheets are there. Okay, remember that. Now if you will be having something like this, if there is a workbook will be there, this workbook is what? It is a container, just a container which will be holding the sheets, sheet 1 and sheet 2. Okay, this, when you save it, when you save the Excel, right, you are not saving the sheets, you are saving the workbook. You are saving the workbook. Inside the workbook there are multiple sheets are there. Now see this workbook is the, this is the number of rows, right? This is row 1, 2, 3 rows. These are the columns, right? These are the columns. In the same way here also, these are the columns and these are the rows. In the rows and columns only you will be storing the data, guys. Okay, now let's see this. I'm going to close this one. I don't know, like, can I see the one over here? Let me close this. Huh? No, there should be a way I can see this thing also. One sheet should be there, but you know, at least we can have it. Oh, structure can be seen. I don't know, somehow or other way. I don't know. They removed that option. I think so. Very lastly, I used. It is not happening. So actually, this is the sheet, guys. Okay, there should be a way. Yeah, I don't know. This is just a sheet, guys. Now, if I take it this one, I can close this one. Okay, just see this. I'm hiding the one. One is gone. Okay. Now, this is a actually. Can you see this? This workbook belongs to which sheet? Which sheet? All the three sheets. It holds all the three sheets. And you know, one of the sheets, these are just inside the workbook. There are different sheets are there. And where the data is stored, in the workbook or in the sheets? In the workbook. Now we were having three different sheets right over here. Previously I was having three different sheets. Now I'm saving this one on the my PC desktop. I'm saving this one by the name like ABC. Okay, ABC. Now let's see this one. I will be having an ABC over here. Where is this ABC? Over here it is, ABC. Now this is a workbook. Now I am saying it. I want you to go to the student data. Now I will say that. Okay, can you please tell me where is the student data? Just now we prepared it. Where it is? In the ABC workbook. Inside this, when I open it, there will be one of the sheet will be in this. There is a student data, right? Student. Where is the student data? Not on the workbook level. It is there in the sheet level. Remember this. It is there in the sheet level. So the workbook is the third dimension. The rows are the second dimension, and columns are the first dimension. So there is a three dimensions are there. Three dimensions. Okay. One is the workbook. Workbook is the third dimension. One is the rows, and second one is the columns. Okay, guys. Where the data is stored, again in the rows and columns only. That is two dimension. Third dimension is just for the structure. Just for the structure. Remember that it is just a structure. So you will never expect that the data will be stored in the three dimension. No, when they say that data is stored in the three dimension, that doesn't mean to say that it is there in the third dimension. It is there in the two dimension over there. In that particular third dimension, there is a two dimension will be there. There the data will be there. Okay. Now, for example, I'm asking you if there is a street is there, something like this. There's an apartment is there, guys. This is an apartment. Okay. Now, if you are having a friend over here inside the apartment, okay, inside the apartment, there will be different floors will be there. Okay. Now, inside the apartment, the person is there. Now he will, okay. Now there are different ways. He will ask you which floor you are staying in. What is where you are staying? Then how you will say it? Which floor? And then which flat, right? This floor and this flat. Okay. Now he may ask which floor you are staying. Yeah. Then you will say that I will stay in the second floor. It doesn't mean to say that you are staying in the second floor on the floor near the lift, right? In that there is a flat is there. In that you are staying in the flat. Suppose there is a friend is coming down to your apartment. There are multiple apartments are there in this street. Now this is a main road. Or he is coming down over here. There are multiple roads are there. This is a road number 2. Now you will say him, come down to the road number 2. I'm staying. Where you are staying means you will say that I'm in the road number 2. It doesn't mean to say that you are staying on the road, right? Where you are staying. In the road, there is an apartment is there. In that, there is a flat is there. You will be staying. So like that, always if there is fourth dimension is there, then third dimension is there, then second rows are there, columns are there, then the columns and the rows, the data will be there. Not in this. This is just like this direction, what you are giving. Which road, which apartment is the one, that is the way it will be coming. Okay, guys, don't get confused over there. Now I'll show you quickly about this one. There's a question asked. We are going to deal with that access later on, Ashok. And I'll show you what exactly it is. Again, this is a part of NumPy. Just see from the concept what I explained. Now I will say that collab. You know how to open the collab, right? We are going to deal with the Jupyter notebook, guys. Not to worry about. Now this is the collab, guys. So I'm just importing the NumPy. Just ignore all these things. Okay, ignore all these things. Now I'm going to say that np dot clear. Yeah, np dot array or a range. Okay, I'm going to give it 1 to 10. A range is just like range function. It will generate the values. Now I'm storing in a ARY array. Now ARY1 is equals to, this is our data. Okay, this is a list, right? Now let's see that this is a NumPy array, guys. NumPy array. This looks like list. Can you see this? This is like a list only, but it is a NumPy array. There's a slight difference will be there with the NumPy array and the list. Now there is something called as ndim. Ndim means dimension, which dimension it is. Now it will give us the one dimension. Okay, clear? Now there is one more is there, ary1.np.random is ary2. I will take it. np.random.randint. I will give it as like 10, 20, and I will give the shape as 4 rows and 6 columns. First, always left side should be the rows and right side should be the columns. Again, when we go to the data frames, it will be changing in the pandas. So now I will give it as ARY2. Can you see this, guys? Now here, how many rows are there? 4 rows are there. Can you see it? 4 rows. And how many columns are there? 6 columns. Now, can you say me what is the value of this one? This one, 14. How I can reach out to the 14? Which row it is? Which row it is? Second row. And which column it is? Fourth it is. Index is 4. So how you will write it? ARY2 of 1 colon, sorry, and 4 over here. When you do this, you will be getting clear, guys, how to go it. Okay. Now this is how many dimension? To ndim. Okay. ARY2.ndim. Now when you do this, you will be seeing it 2 dimension. Clear? Okay. Now when we are dealing with, now take it ARY3. np.random.randint. Now this is used to generate the randomly an array. Okay, there are different ways we can do it. I want values from 30 to 60. I want in the array, I want the values from 30 to 60. What shape we wanted? Now previously we took it 4, 6, right? This is how much? 2 dimension. Now I will add one more dimension over here. This is a 3 dimension. Okay. Now when I run this one, see this one. ARY3. Okay. Clear? Now this is a 3 dimension one. So if you take it, this block is what? 0th block. 3rd dimension, 0th block. This block is what? 1 block. Okay, that is index 1. In this, now this one is 0 column. Which block it is? 0 block. That is third dimension 0. This one is which row it is? 0th row. And index 1 row. This is index 2 row. Index 3 row. And this one is again 0 row, 1 row, 2 row and 3 row. But which block it is? 1 block. Okay, clear? Now which column? Now let's see this one, guys. This is 58, is it not 58? Let's take it 54. 54. Which block it is? 0. Which row it is? Which column it is? 3. Column is 3. Got it? This is block is 0 and this row is what? 1 row. And which column it is? 3. Right? Now how you will give it? ARY3. When I have 1 dimension, I gave 1 square bracket. Right? 2 dimension, I gave 2 square bracket. 3 dimension, sure, 3 square bracket. Got it? Now first one will be the for the third dimension. What is the third dimension here? 0. Which is the second rows over here? 1. Which column it is? Huh? Okay. So this can be written in this way, and it can also be written in this way if you are facing any difficulty in. Now let me see the dimension first. Okay. N dim. How much you are going to get it? Clear? Now, if you see this, if this is a bit, 3 square brackets, you are feeling complicated. So practice this one, preferably this one. 1 square bracket. Okay. 1 square bracket means we are going to give 1 index in this. Now, this square bracket divide it into 3 parts. First part, then second and third part. Right? Now, what is this one is for the third dimension. This one is for the rows and this one is for the columns. Which row it is? 0. And which row it is? Sorry, which block it is? 0. Which row it is? 1. Which column it is? Now practice this one, guys. Remember this one. Okay. You can do this way, you can give it, or you can give it this way. 1 square bracket, divide it into 3 parts and do it. Now, preferably remember this. Okay. And you can do the slicing also. You can do the row, third dimension slicing. You can do the row slicing. You can do the column slicing. Simple. Okay. Now, again, when you look at this one, now, which is a third dimension, guys? 0th is a third dimension. But where is the data is stored? Data is stored in the rows and columns only. Rows and columns. In the third dimension is only a structure. Only a structure. Now, if I take it fourth dimension also, you see it, fourth dimension, 2, 2, 2. Now, I will run this one. You see the structure over here. Can you see it? A bigger structure. Can you see it? It's only a structure. But where is the data? Data is there in the rows and columns only. Here also the rows and columns. Here also the rows and columns. The higher dimension is just the structure, guys. Now, if you want to see this one, now here ndim, you will get it 4 dimension. Clear, guys? This is only a structure. Just I said you like, the street name, the apartment name, the floor name, and the location of your flat. So the street and the apartment are just the, directions to reach to your flat. The same way, fourth and the third dimension are just to reach to your data. Remember that. Okay, guys. Now, so in this, what is this? How? अमिताभ फिर से लिखो, ये क्या होता है? AR3 is equals to वो block आ जाएगा आपके पास. You will get the block. Do that. It's not our. It's gone. Badhiya. Good. So now this is what is, guys. You have to remember that now you know what is the tabular format, right? Tabular format is data is stored in the rows and columns. Now this is usually, these are called as rows. Okay, these are called as columns. Okay, clear, guys? These are. Now there is one more name is there for this rows called as Mara. What do you want me to repeat once again? Which one you want me to repeat once again? Now rows is having a one more name called as record. Storing values, sir. Storing values matlab? Storing values means, what do you mean by that? Okay, rows are called as records, and then there is something called as columns, right? Columns is called as fields. Kumar, can you give me a clarity? Which one you want me to repeat it? Don't ask all. Okay, rows means records and columns means fields, guys. Okay, now in a CSV file, whenever you are dealing with a CSV file, see if you have it row and column over here like this. Now I will write it a small one. Okay, here I'm taking it. Okay, now this is the one. I'm writing it student ID, student name, student class, student marks. Clear? Okay, next student name, student ID. Now B 11, 65, 65 and 65. Okay, 65. Okay, now what is this? Or let's do it like this. What is this? What is this actually? अभी बोला था मैंने. हाँ जी. No, what are these values for? Student idea age. ఎట్లా చెప్తున్నావు? ఏ ఐడియా నేను చెప్పినా ఏంది ప్రూఫ్ ఏది? ఏజ్ కూడా కావచ్చు కదా. కాంట్ బి ఏజ్. నో. 11 years or 10th class ఉండొద్దా రూలా? 22 years or 10th class 11th class చేయొద్దా? So how you know this, guys? What is this? A B B B. It can be location also, right? Location नहीं हो सकता क्या? हो सकता है, right? Now how you know this? How you know this? Where you define? तो अंदर ही लगा लो. Where it is defined? Here. Here you have to name, you have to give the name to the label. This is the complete row. This is a complete column. We are going to give a name to that column. This is called as, what is this? Student ID. Now this one, student name. This one, student class. Student class and student English marks, student science marks, student computer marks. Okay, clear? Now what you are doing over here, guys, what is this? Labeling. Labeling what? Labeling what? Column. You are labeling the column. You are labeling the column. This is the label given to the column, right? So this one is called as column labels. Clear? This is called as column labels. And always remember that in a tabular format, the first row should be column labels. Column labels. First row should be column labels. And next row, from the next row should be values. So second, and from the second row. From second row, it should be consisting of what? Values. It should consist of values. Okay. Now, what you want to repeat it? What was the last concept you got it missed out, Kumar? I want to know that, right? I can't repeat it. It's been like almost 45 minutes we have done it. So which part you want me to repeat? I will repeat it. Okay. Now the first row is called as column labels. Second row is called, from the second row we will be having the values, guys. Okay. Now this one is very, very important. Why? Because to identify this particular row, this particular rows, I mean columns, these column labels are very, very important. And that now this data, when you are putting in the CSV file, how you'll do it? std id, comma, std name, comma, std class, comma, std English, comma, std science, and std computers. Now what is this? This is nothing but the column labels. First row should be the column labels in the CSV file, guys. CSV file, always remember, first row should be the column labels. Next one is called as AAA, 10, 55, 65, and 66, something like this. What is this? Values. Now 66 belongs to which one? Computer marks. Remember that. This one go into this one, first one, and this one will get into this one under this category, this English, this science, and this one is computers. Now next one, okay, now I will give it as 65, 66, and 68. Got it? Clear? Now this one is, this is the way actually the CSV file will be stored up. First row should be always column label, and next should be the values. Okay, values. Remember this. Always the CSV file, first row should be the column label, and the next row should be the values, guys. Now this is the way actually the CSV file is stored in. And the advantage of the CSV file is this can store, when you open this one in the Excel sheet, that will be coming in this tabular format. If you are opening in the Word, you will get it like this. You can open in the Notepad, you will get it like this. You can open in the WordPad also. There's no limit for that. CSV file is not having any default format. Any default format CSV file is not having, guys. The CSV file is, is a generic format which can be opened in anything. Now you see this, I am keeping this one in the, now let me see that I stored some values over here. Let me take this. Let me see if I can store this one over here. I got it. Okay. Now this is what Excel sheet I'm doing it. Now I will save it in the CSV file. Save as PC, desktop, and here by default, what it is storing in Excel workbook. Now I don't want it in the Excel workbook. There is something called as CSV with a comma delimited. Okay, now click on this, and when you say save, I will give it ABC, or let's say it as student STD. Now you see this, guys. Yeah, it's done. Now you see this one. Okay, but if it is Excel is there, it will prefer to open in the Excel sheet. Now I'm opening this one. See this, it will be opening in the Excel sheet. Can you see this? It is open in the Excel sheet. Now it is, see this one, guys, STD over here. Now if I don't have Excel, I want to open it in the other format. Open with, I want to open it a WordPad. I can open it. Can you see it? Open WordPad. Now next, I can open in the Notepad also. All of them. Now the one thing you have to remember is the basic point is CSV file will be storing the data in the format of tabular format. Okay, in the tabular format, and first row in that CSV file should be column labels. Second row should be values from the second row. And next important point is whenever you want to enter the data into the CSV file, okay, now whenever you want to enter the data into CSV file, so you see this is the first column, right? First row, that is a column labels. So whenever you want to enter the data into CSV file, you have to enter the data in the row by row format. Data into CSV file. CSV file, we should enter in row by row. That is nothing but in the form of list, in list or row by row format. So whenever you are dumping the data, you have to dump the first row, then second row, then third row. Not by the value by value. Remember this. Not by the value by value. You can't enter this value, this value, this value. No. You have to enter complete row and this row and this row. Clear, guys? This is very important point. Whenever you are entering the data into CSV files, we should enter row by row format, in row by row format. First row, second row, and third row. And what will be the first row always? Column label, column label. Now, when you are extracting the data from the CSV file, then you will be extracting row by row format. Okay, it will extract in row by row format. Okay, guys, row by row format. Clear? Okay. Now, the one more important thing, guys, over here. Now, you know it about, I think that you know enough about the CSV file. CSV file is a text file. It is stored the data in the form of tabular format, right? Tabular format. And the first row of the data will, CSV file should be column labels. And from the second row, you will have the values. Okay. And in a table, how many column labels will be there? Only one. Remember that point. Always remember only one column labels will be there. Okay. Now, next one is over here. It's whenever you want to enter the data into CSV file, we should enter in row by row format. Whenever we want to enter, when we want to extract the data, it will extract. It will means the Python will extract us in the row by row format. Remember this. I wrote it in somewhere wrong place. This one. Okay. It's okay. You can keep it up. And the one thing is, the first row of the CSV file should be CSV file column label, guys. These are some of the important points. Okay, now this is what all about you should know it. Now let's take it one more thing. Now you want to, now just imagine, guys, you want to go and cut the wood in the forest. This is you. Now this is you. Okay, you want to go to the forest. This is a forest you are having. This is the forest you are having. In this, you want to cut a particular tree. Now that tree details are there in a map over here. This is a map. Okay, and the another room, another place, you are having the axe over here. This is the axe. Okay, this is the axe. Okay, I want to get a particular tree over here. In this, there's a particular tree. That tree map is inside this. Okay, and the axe is over here. Okay, now to cut the tree, particular tree, which one is more important? Huh? Particular tree, कौन सा जाके काटोगे? You have the axe, but which one you are going to cut it? I want to go for a particular tree. Okay, guys, I want that tree only. That tree is inside the forest. You can't go and find it out. That tree details are there in this. Okay, now this one is the one which is used to cut it. Now if you don't have this one, if you have the map, it is waste. You can go to the tree and you can see and you can come back. But if you have the axe and if you don't have the map, you don't know which tree you have to cut. So which are important? Both are important. When you have the both of them, then only you can do that. Okay, you can do this. Now this one is like your file details. Map is like your file details, guys. File details. File details is a location of the file. Now the CSV library is like a axe. Okay, clear? With which you can perform the operations. These two are important for us. These two are important. So you have to mix them. Okay, both you are needed. So remember that point. Now let's get into our this thing. Inside the files, I'm going to do this. I will remove this one. I will say that, yeah, guys, don't give directly CSV. Never give the file names directly. Library names, never give it. Just add something. CSV file over here, just like this. Don't give only CSV or anything like that. That will be a problem. Now, like this one, I'm going to create the first one. First CSV. Okay, now remove this part. Now first we have to open the file. We know that is a basic thing we have to do it. Open. Which one it is? File name. File name is, I'm going to give it, there's no CSV file over here. I want to create a file CSV, or let's create a CSV file. I already have a CSV file, right? This CSV file is there, right? What is this CSV file? With the student details, right? I'm getting this CSV file. Okay, I want to get this. Where is this CSV file, guys? Which location it is? Desktop, right? Now, till now, we have dealt with only the local files. So first time I'm dealing with the file which is remotely located. Which location it is? Desktop. What is the path to the desktop? Right click on this, properties, and you will see the path. This is the path for this. Can you see this? This is the path. This is the path to the CSV file. But what is a CSV file? std dot. Okay, std.csv. Now I'm putting out the path. Previously, I was giving directly name abc.csv, something like that. When we can use it? When the file is locally available. When the file is locally available, you can do it. Now I will show you file from the remote location. So where is that location? This is the location. Okay. And then what is the file name? std.csv. std.csv. Will this work? Yes. Which mode you want to get it? Huh? R plus R. Let's read it first. Read. Okay. R only, because this is a text file. This is a text file. R only. Now this will give us what? File object. Okay. It will give us a file object. What the file object consists of? What the file object consists of? File details, right? This is the map. Got it? Now I want the axe. Okay. Now I will do it. Import CSV. This is the axe. Okay. This is having the power to, extract, do the manipulations in the CSV file. Whenever you want to do anything on the CSV file, CSV library is having. This is an external library. External library means this is downloaded. This is downloaded when you are downloaded your Python, you downloaded this one. But unfortunately, this will not load with each and every program of that. No. It will not have with each and every program. So in order to get this one onto your program, you have to explicitly import it. You are getting the properties of the CSV into my program. But it is available in my Python. But each and every time it will not come into my Python program. So I have to get it each and every time whenever I want to use it. Because all the time we are not going to use it. Okay. Now this one is what having properties to deal with the CSV, manipulation with the CSV file. And this one is having the map, right? Now what we have to do, we have to combine them, right? Then only it is useful. Otherwise it is not useful for us. So here I will combine them. See this CSV dot, I have something called as reader. Reader is a function which helps us to read the CSV file. But where is the file? F is the file. Okay, guys, I'm combining the details of the CSV file with, CSV properties with the file. And this will give me an object, obj read, that is reading a CSV. This will read that this object is having the power to read the data from this CSV file. Okay, now we are getting an error. I will rectify that error. Now then I will print this one. Print, or I will see this, I will print objr. What you are going to get it, guys? Objr data? No, address of where this data is extracted and stored. Okay, this is the address you are going to get it. Now then I have to close the file, right? Okay, guys, now this will give me an error. This will not get me, and because you see this, see, this is giving me a syntax error of Unicode. So what this means is you can't give it a 1 backslash. When you give it a 1 backslash, that will be considered as escape character. Okay, so what you have to do it, you have to give that 2 backslash. Now this is not with this Python only. For any programming language, it will be the same, guys. Now the people who don't Java, they will understand this. You can give it 2 backslash, and let's see that I'm going to get the data. I will not, I will get the object. Can you see the object? Okay, object. Now this object is nothing but the address where the data is there, right? In order to get the data, use the list of obj, or you can do it something like that. For I in objr, print I. Print I. Got it, guys? Okay, now I will use the time lapse, import time, and then I will show you over here time dot sleep of 2 seconds. Okay, now why I'm showing it, I will let you know. Now I will run this one. Just see this. First we got the column, and then first row and second. What I said it over here, if you check it out, you will, when we extract data from CSV, it will extract in row by row format. Row by row format. So that is what is happening over here. Can you see it? When I run this one, you will be getting the first row, then second row, then third row over here. Row by row format, you will be extracting the data. And this is pretty mandatory, guys. Whenever you are dealing with the non-local files, you have to mention the address. Whenever you are mentioning the address, you give the double backslash. Take it as a thumb rule. Whenever you are doing, you have to do that. Okay. Or if you are not comfortable, no, I don't want to give the double backslash. There is another option is also there. Give it a single forward slash. Okay. Now when I run this one, got it, guys? Clear? Open any doubts? Clear. So this is how, now this is very important. These two one, remember this one. This is a point. It is very, very important. Why we are clubbing up the CSV with the file. Okay, that is very, very important. This is a map and this is a axe. Remember, in that way, then you will get it. Clear? Now this is how it will be dealing it, guys. Any questions? Now, this is what we are going to read the data from a CSV file. Any data you can do it, you can get it in this way. Now, again, if you take it a bigger amount of data, let's see that if I have a bigger file. There's no bigger file with me. Okay, now let me get it from the Kaggle. Cancer or Irish data, I will use it. Irish data set. No. Now, Kaggle, there is an Irish species. This is the data I'm going to get it, guys. I will store it on the desktop. Here it is. Extracted. I got it in a zip format. I am extracting the data. This is the Irish. You see this? Comma separated value file. Okay. Now, this one I'm going to copy it and put it onto the screen directly. I got it. We can delete these things, unnecessary stuff. Okay, guys. Now let's deal with the Irish data over here. Now I will write it the second CSV. Okay. Now, first, what you have to do? Import CSV. Now, again, I said you right, don't keep the name over here CSV. When you import it, right, they will be looking, the locally, whatever the CSV will be there, that will be, it will be importing it. So you don't keep it CSV over here. Remember that, don't keep it CSV. You add something, CSV, your name, CSV file or something. So here I'm saying import. Now I will say that F is equals to open the location. Where's the location, guys? That is the same location I would say. This one, I will go here, properties, and see this, and I will run it over here. And what is the name of the file? irish.csv, right? icaps. Now what we have to do it first thing, make it this one as a forward slash or double backward slash. Let's make it a forward slash, guys, over here. Okay, now after this, I'm going to csv.reader of F, right? Of F, and this will give me an object reader object reader. Now we are going to read the data for I in objr print I. Okay, now let me run this. Okay, I have to close the file, f.close. Got it, guys? Data, can you see it? How much data we got it over here? Okay, that is at the remote location over here. This is the one. Okay, clear? Now that will be having a tabular format data, and this will be having a text format data. Extension name undi, extension name istavu notepad lo extension meer em istaru, text file untadi dantlo csv iste csv vastadi, format batte untadi, whatever that. How many types of files? ఓపెన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, ఏదంటే అది ఓపెన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, పైథాన్ అన్ని ఓపెన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. రిలవెంట్ లైబ్రరీ తీసుకొని ఓపెన్ చేసుకోవాలి, లైబ్రరీ తీసుకొని ఓపెన్ చేసుకో, ఎన్ని ఏ ఫైల్ అయినా ఓపెన్ చేసుకోవాలి ఇష్టం. దట్ ఈస్ ద పవర్ ఆఫ్ ద పైథాన్. ఓకే, క్లియర్ గైస్? क्यों? आपका नाम क्या है? हाँ, और एक नाम लगा लो, नहीं और एक नाम लगा लो, क्या होगा? कोई मतलब है? हरीश एक काफी है ना अपने को. So when you give the two rows over here, what is the purpose of this one? What is the purpose? अब हरीश का पर्पस क्या है? आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है ना. अब मुझे इस सब में हरीश बोले तो आप उठेंगे. आई एम रिफरिंग टू यू. द नेम इज फॉर आइडेंटिफाई यू. इन द सेम वे ये जो कॉलम है ना, इसका नाम दिया है, तो दो देने का मतलब क्या है? फॉर क्या कंपेयर करना पड़ेगा? हाँ, स्टेट का लगा लो ना एक कॉलम, स्टेट का एक कॉलम, तो महाराष्ट्र डेटा लगा लो पूरा. अब देखो तो सही, यहाँ पर है भैया, यहाँ पर स्टेट डाल रहे हो, ये वाला स्टेट ले लो, तो यहाँ पर क्या आएगा? महाराष्ट्र आएगा. एंड महाराष्ट्र में कौन सा जगह? नागपुर. एंड अगेन देयर इज मुंबई इज देयर, महाराष्ट्र मुंबई, एंड महाराष्ट्र पुणे, महाराष्ट्र औरंगाबाद लगा. तो ऐसा यू विल बी रिप्रेजेंटिंग देम लाइक दैट. Okay, no need of keeping them. Two columns नहीं देंगे, कभी भी नहीं देंगे, उन्हें हो ही नहीं सकता होगा. Yeah, there will be column labels will be there. Multi-level column labels will be there. एक ऊपर का रहता है, फिर उसके बाद उसके अंदर और एक ले सकते हैं. तो यहाँ पर CSV में नहीं आएगा वो that you have to deal with the another, that is only for presentation purpose, not for the storing purpose. Only जब आपको present करना है data को, then you will be doing it 12 columns. Okay, 12 columns, triple columns or something like that. Whenever you are dealing with the presentation, remember वो store करने के लिए नहीं है, कभी भी store करने के लिए use नहीं करेंगे. तो only to presentation purpose. Storing means database or the major huge amount of data in the CSV file. यहाँ पर 12 column नहीं दे सकते. Okay, that you can present it using the pivot table and all those things we can do it. Okay, 12 table. Okay, 12 columns. Okay, clear guys? String data we get from CSV, we need to convert into int. Yes, you can do it. If it is a calculatable data, you can do that. Why can't you do it? That is an assignment I'm going to give it to you. If you are getting the data from the if there is a text file is there, in the text file there is a particular format is there. There's a particular format of the data is there. That data can be extracted by using the regular expression. There is something called as regular expression concept that is specially used to extract a particular format of the data. A particular format of the data, you can extract it by using the regular expression, and then you can put it inside this. Okay, guys. Now, if you want to add them, just imagine you want to add them. How you'll add it? How will add it? Append where? Append is used to add it. Append is used to add. Add means वो add नहीं, calculation add. यहाँ पर highlight करके बोल रहा हूँ, यहाँ पर पूरा ये calculation करना है मुझे. Add मतलब क्या? Sum करना है, sum. So how you will do that? Indexing. Why indexing? What is the index of this one? 0 of 1. 0 means this, no, 1 of 1. This is 0 and this is 1. 1 of 1 is the indexing. And then this indexing 2, this indexing 3, this indexing 4. Can I add them? String format. So convert it into integer first. Int of this index 1, int plus int of index 2, index 3, index 4, you convert it int and add it. You got the addition. Got? And that addition, I want to put it inside this one. How will do that? What is this I highlighted? Row, but which format it looks like? List format. So how to enter a value into the list? A new value? Append. Do the append and you will get it. Simple. Clear? Now this is what, see this, I will give it over here. Time dot sleep of 1. Okay. Now import time, guys. Now when I'm doing this, this is, try to understand this. Okay. Now I'm running it. What I'm going to get it first? Each and every row I'm getting it from the CSV file, and each and every row is extracted in the form of list, in the form of list. So all the properties, whatever is there with the list, can be applicable on this. So this list value is there in which one in this? Which variable is holding? I is holding the list value, right? list value. Each and every list value is there in the I. Now, if I want to get this one and this one and this one and this one, how I'll write it? I of 1, I of 2, I of 3, I of 4, like this you have to do it, right? But can I give it like that? What happened? No, you are saying it, right? Why we can't do it? But your answer was correct. No. Your answer, what you said is no is correct. Can I do it over here like this, guys? I'm taking a variable. Okay. So S is equals to I of 0. This has to be converted into int. That I'm saying it. I of 0. Okay, guys. Plus int of I of 1. Can I do this? And can I do it like this? Continuously, I can go and do it, right? I can do it. No problem about that. Because I of 0 is this one. I don't want I of 0. I of 1, I will take it. And I of 2, I will take it. Can I do this? Yes. But the problem will be coming down over here. What is that problem? What will be the first value of I? What is that? What label? Column label. Use the term, perfect terminology. Okay, that is called as column label. Now this one is what? String. Right. String, I am converting it to what? Can I do that? You will get an error. You will get an error over there. Okay, so what you have to do it? If the first is there, ignore it. If from there the second or whatever it is there, you can add it. All you have to do it is if condition. What will be the if condition will be there, guys? Anyone? Suraj. If I of 1 is 1. If I of 1 is what, guys? This one, right? This one will be there. If the I of 1 is equals to this, that's it. If the I of 1 is this, ignore it. Just don't do anything. Okay? Now don't do anything over here. You can say continue. You know that what is a continue will do it, right? It will skip it off. Continue. Else or you can do it in other way is I of 1 is digit is equals to int. That means after converting this one, is digit means inside the string when there is a value is there or a digit is there, it will give us true. Now how I can do it? This is one way. The other way is if I of 1, obviously it is a string, right? It is string dot is digit is equals to int or float. You can take it anything, float. Okay, then is digit will not give a float, guys. This will not work because if it is an integer is there, it will work. If it is a float is there, it will not work. Then you have to go with the other one. Okay, you can't do it. Or you can do it something like this. The first one is the best one. This is the one you can do it. Again, don't get confused. I will tell you the other ones. This is the one you can use. If it is continue, then you can come down to this. Okay, guys, you can do it like this. But this one is again an optional logic I'm giving it. You can use it later on. Now we are going to create an CSV file. I read the data from the CSV file. Remember that I read the data from the remote location of the CSV file. Now I want to create a CSV file. Okay, I want to create. So again, by writing Yeah, that is fine, but that will not work. That is work for only the integers, but our case that is an we can use it, Nazia. We can use that, but when there is an integer is there, you can use it. When the integer is not there, you can't use it. That will not work for the float. Again, your mechanism has to be changed. Now we have read the data from the CSV. Any doubt till now? Great. Now we will create a CSV file. A simple CSV file we are going to create it. Or write CSV. Okay. The basic stuff you have to remember is first is import. Tell me next. Open any sky.csv. Is this file is there? No. So you want to create a file. How you will do that? Append mode or write mode. Anything you can write or append. Okay. Now this I'm using with the width. Can I use it with the width? And as F1. Okay. Now then what you have to, sorry, colon. And then what you have to do? We have to merge the CSV properties with what property of the CSV we wanted? Write property. We are writing, right? Writer property. This is called as a writer function because we are creating a new file. What we have to do it? We have to enter the data into that, right? So we will, now I will take it as W over here. Let's do it as W. Okay. Now what I did it, I'm creating a writer property for CSV writer and I'm merging with what? File object F1. F1. Okay. Now this one I will give it as a OBJ writer object. OBJ writer object I want to do it. Now here I created a writer object. Now this will create a CSV file with sky.csv and that the properties of the writer with the file is merged and it is there in the OBJW. Okay. Now what we are going to do it is, first if you want to write anything into CSV file, let's open up a CSV file. In this, when you want to write the CSV file, guys, what you have to write first? Column label. First is column label. Then, and I told you one more thing. When we enter data into CSV, we should enter in row by row manner. Okay. So first all these things you have to enter and then you have to enter these things. Then you have to enter these things, right? Like that. So first what you have to enter, guys? First row and that row should consist of column labels. Now I want to enter the employee details. OBJW dot write row. Can you see it? Write row. This one is a one which helps us to put the row inside that. And as I said it, you have to enter the data row by row manner. So that row I'm putting in the list because you have to put it in the list. That is mandatory. Otherwise, it will take only one parameter, but you will be entering the multiple values. That is a problem. So put it in the list. Okay, I will do it like this. First, I will enter what? Employee ID. Next, employee name. Next, employee designation and employee salary. Like this. How many values I'm entering? 4 values. Now, as I told you, if you are entering more than one value, it will give us an error. So you have to put it in the square brackets. That is a list format. Okay, guys. Now this will be dumped in the file as it is. Now how we got it? We got it. Now this is what first row I'm writing. This will go into the file like this. If my file is something like this, I will take it as a notepad is there. Here. Now first what it will come down, guys? This will go into this. This part will be entering into the. Next, what you wanted? Values. What value? 111. Name is equals to A, and name is equals, designation is equals to PM, and then you want to give the salary. Okay, salary maybe I will give it as 1 lakh. Okay, now this is the my second data, right? Second row. I will copy this, and what I have to do it over here? First row is using this one. The row will write only one row. Now then I want to write it objw dot write row. Second row I'm writing it, and I'm going to put down in the square brackets this one here, guys. Now this value will be entered. Now the next row I want to write objw dot write row. Okay, now I will write it the third value, that is third row, that is 222, and I will give it as B, and like TM technical manager, and I will give it as 1 lakh, or maybe around 1.5 lakh. Will it write? It should write. Now I will end up, no need of ending it because we already using the bin, no need to end the file. Now I will run it, guys. Can I run it? Now see this, I'm running it. Done. Now you see this over here, you will get the sky.csv. You got it? Now just open this sky.csv, you got the data. Now we got an extra lines over here, extra space. To remove this extra space, I will take it to the right side just to see this. To remove this extra space, you write it new line empty string. That's it. You do it a new line empty string. Automatically this part will be gone. Now again, which mode I am opening? Write mode. What is the nature of the write mode? If the file is existing, delete the previous data and enter the new data. Okay. Now again you see this will be removed with this part, and you will be getting a new one. Got it, guys? Yeah, automatically it is. So this is the way you can enter the data. Clear? Any questions, guys? Not in the list format, any container format. It is better to be, because you are going to dump it, because write row, Nazia, write row will take only one parameter. Okay, write row will take only one parameter, but you want to enter an entire row. So that's the reason why you have to put it in a object, that is a sequential type of object, that can be a list or tuple or anything. Okay, clear, guys? Now let's do it now a bit advanced. Now you know the basic stuff, how to create a data, and now I want to read the data also. How I'll do it? R plus W plus M. Got to write and read it. Now read is there, write is there. I want to do the reading also. What you will do it? W plus. Of course, it will delete the previous data. I want to delete the previous data. Okay, guys. Now, what I'll do it? Seek. Yeah, seek 0. Then it will go to the starting. Then what you have to do it? Seek is what? Which one it is? Seek is for which file? Which file object? F1. F1 dot seek. Okay. Now what you have to do it? Read it. How you will read it? Sorry, can you remove that and speak it out? Yeah, this one is used for what? Only for writing. This object is for the writing purpose. So I will create one more object for the reading purpose, because both the objects are specifically used for one particular purpose. Reading object is for reading purpose, writing object is used for writing purpose. Now this one is for what? Writing. Then what we have to do now? Reading. Then create a reader object. objw dot objwr, I will use it. Objr, sorry. Objr csv dot reader object, and I will give it as f1. Okay, guys, f1. Then what you will do it? For I in objr. That's it. Print I. Here. Now let's do this. It should work for us. Got it? I got the data over here. Perfect. Guys, I wanted you to do an assignment over here. I want everyone to do this. This is very important. Okay. Now accept the the class is not over, because before I forgot, I want to give it this assignment. Okay. I'm going to tell you this one. Accept. Now there is something you have to know. I will do the extension of that. Now before I forget, I want to give it. Accept student details with marks. Okay, with marks. Student details with marks. How many marks? 3 marks. You take it. And you know, you're going to take the student details and 3 marks and store it in CSV file. Now you are going to store the data as it is. Okay, you are going to store the data as it is. I don't want you to calculate anything. You are getting the student marks, name, class, English, science, and computers. Store it as it is in the CSV file. Okay. Now then what you do it is, when you retrieve the data, I want you to retrieve it. Now when you're retrieving it, dump it as it is. Okay, here store it in CSV file without calculations. Now then when we retrieve the data, what you wanted? I want you to give the complete student details. Display all student details along with total, average, and grade. I told you just now, I showed you how you have to do it. Now you can do this. Okay. Now how to dump it the data, I'm going to show you. I think you can do it that one, but still it's okay. Okay, guys, clear? And do the same thing with them. And also, I wanted you to do it something like this. Second assignment. Now you should do it, guys, because you have to do this. Read the data. Okay, you do it. Student marks. Okay. Student marks. This all you are displaying, right? This is your displaying. This is your displaying. Display all student details along with the total, average, and grade. And then what you have to do it, instead of displaying it over here, store in another CSV file with student details along with total. Now this one I wanted you to do it as a second assignment. Okay, guys, clear? Now, accept student details with the marks, store it in CSV file. You know it, this one, how to do it. This one also, you do the same thing. But instead of displaying it, I want you to store it in another CSV file. Okay, guys, clear? Now, these are the two things. Now, let's enhance this program a bit, guys. Now, here, what I'm doing, I'm giving a hard-coded values, right? I'm giving a hard-coded values. Now, let's take it to the next level. I'll copy the same code. You know the code now. Or let me write it down for yourself. Like I will take it. Write CSV 2. I will take it 2. Okay. Now just observe it, guys. First, I will import CSV, and I will open up the file with open. I will give it some name as st employee.csv. I don't have an employee.csv. Now, as which mode? Write mode I want to give it. Okay, write mode as F1. Now, then we are going to write it, right? I'm writing it. So csv.writer of F1. Clear? I'm merging the two properties over here, and I will put it in a variable called as objw. That is a writer. This is a name, guys. You can give it any name. Okay, you know this is just a name. Now, after this, first I want to write it over here. W is equals to, writer. Right row is equals to, I will give the data as it is from here. With this one. I'm copying this one, guys, as it is. Can I do this? Now, what it is doing, it is creating an EMP CSV and it is dumping the data into that. Okay. Now, it is how many values it is dumping? 3 values it is dumping. Three rows it is dumping. Two records with 1 column label. Now, this we can get it very easily over here. Now you can see this. This will be there. Okay. Now, okay, I missed out something. What is that? New line. New line is equals to empty string. I always miss it out. Now, when I run this one, I will get a proper CSV file over here. Okay, guys, this is fine. Till here it is fine. Now, as I told you, you should never keep the hard-coded values in your program. Remember that, never keep the hard-coded values. So now, in order to avoid this, what I'm going to do it is here, I will take a variable. Okay. First one is employee ID. EID is a variable and I'm giving it 111. Now, E name is a variable which is holding the name Arjun. Okay. Now, E designation is a variable which is holding what? The designation of Arjun, that is TM. And maybe like E salary is equals to 50,000. Okay. Clear, guys? Now, this is the one we were writing it first. Now, what you have to write it after this? You have to write the value. So now next row should consist of the values, right? Now, previously what we did it over here. Now, I will see this. Now, 111 is there in which one? Which variable? Employee ID. Now, you put down the employee ID. EMP ID, EID, sorry, EID. Now, name is there in which variable? E name. Now, this is a variable. No need to give it in the quotes. Next one is E designation. Next one is, okay guys, clear? Will it get into this? We will get the value into this, because this value will be deleted because we are opening in the write mode. Now you see this, I'm just keeping it this bit over here. When I run this one, automatically this values are there. Now what we got it? 111 Arjun TM 50,000, right? Clear guys? Now see this. This is for which one? One record. I don't want one record. Or I want to take it this values from the user. I don't want to put it over here. I will say it int of, okay, I will copy this one guys, and I will comment it. Please uncomment it and do it if you want to look at that one. Now if I do it like this, now I don't want it this to given over here. I want to take it from the user. How I will take it? Input, enter employee ID. Okay, because this can be ID, can be integer or a character type. It can be anything. So I'm giving it. Now next one, int of enter employee name. Can I do it? Clear? Now the next one, enter employee designation. Designation guys. Now here int of enter, I will give it int over here. Int of enter employee salary. Rub it up over here. Now what will happen? You will take the values and you are going to dump it over here, right? You are going to dump it. In which one? EMP. Now let me run this one. Okay. Now here employee ID is, I'm going to give it 9. Now employee name is like Nareen, and employee designation is developer. Okay. Employee salary is like maybe around 1 lakh. Okay. Now when you do this, it is done. Now let's open this file. Where is that file? Here it is, employee. You got the Nareen details. Got it? Now what you are doing over here, I'm taking the value from the user. I'm taking the value from the user. But after entering over here, after entering the value, I want to display it over here only. I don't want to open the file all the time. I don't want to open it. So what I will do it, I will open the file in which mode? W plus mode. That this will help us to write it and read it. So for reading purpose, what you have to do? We have to create a reader object. As I told you, writer object will do the writing purpose, reader object for the reading purpose. Obj_r is equals to csv dot reader of f1, right? And then all I will be doing is for I in, okay, obj_r print I. Okay guys, I will print it I. Now, yeah, I've done it. Now all I will be doing is a separator. I will give it over here so that it is clearly understood. Now I'm going to run this one. Now it is asking me, now no need of looking into this. It is asking me the employee ID. So I will give it as 1010 and name is equals to Shanti. And employee designation is equals to HR manager, and then salary is equals to 1 lakh. It's not being displayed. Why? Seek f1 dot seek of 0. When you do this, you're going to get it again. 1010 and designation HR and Got it? Got it, guys? Clear? This is the way I want to do it. Now, I want to enter multiple values. So this is, you can check it out. I want to do it the multiple values. Just bear with me. I know that we are running out of the time, but just be there. We will finish it off this one. Not all the program. Writer multi CSV. This is a code. Okay. How many values you want to enter now? Now just see this. How many values you want to enter? Maybe around I want to enter 4 values. So how many times I have to iterate it? 4 times. For I in or for x in range of 1 to 4 or 0 to 4. I will give it as 4. Automatically how many times it will, or let's take it as 3. Okay, we will get it like 3 values we can enter. Now then afterwards, now first time it will come down. Then what you will do it? First thing what you have to do it is in the CSV file when you open up, what is the first one you will write it? Column labels. But how many times you will write the column labels? 1 time. That should be inside the loop or outside the loop? Outside the loop. Now you take this one. I'm taking this one and I will remove this one and I will keep it outside. Okay guys, clear? This is outside because I have to write only once. If I keep it in the loop, what will happen? It will write n number of times. So I don't want to do that. I want. Then what I have to do? I have to take the student ID, student name, employee ID, employee name, employee designation. That I'm taking it. How many times I have to take it? 3 times, right? 3 values I want to take. I'm putting it 3 values. Can I take it? Now, first time I got 111 and some name and designation and salary. Next time it will go, then where the second value will be stored? In the same variable. What happened to the previous value? It is lost. So before the previous value it is lost, I want to store it in the file, right? That is more important. So I'm going to do it that one over here. I'm not doing anything, guys. Just I'm doing the same code and copying and pasting. This I got it. The first value is 1. Now name is A. Designation is PM. Salary may be 1 lakh. Now, if I'm not storing over here inside the file, what will happen? It will go back again and it will ask the second 2 and employee name is B. Designation is TM. Salary is 1,50,000. What happened to the PM? A. It's lost. So before it is lost, I'm storing in the file. That's it. Simple. I'm storing in the file. Whatever the data I took it, I'm storing inside the file. That's it. Now here, okay, everything is fine. Now I want to read the data. So in order to read the data, now all the iteration is done. We have dumped the 3 students details. Now what I have to do it? I have to create a writer or reader object csv.reader of F1. Okay guys, F1. And then for I in objr and print I. That's it. Now what you are going to do it? You are going to read it all the data. Now this one is not required for this. I'm going to remove it. Okay. And all I have to do the seek. F1.seek before creating that. F1.seek. Okay. Now let me run this one. Any? हाँ सूरज हाँ didn't speak यहाँ पर सुनाई दे रहा है वही माइंड में स्पीक करो बाद में now 111 okay 1 A designation PM now 50,000. Now what happens over here is if I'm going to the next one, automatically what happens? The previous data will be variable will be deleted. Before deleting, what I will do it? I will dump it into the file over here. I'm dumping into the file. Okay. Now you see this. I will Now second one it is asking. Second one. So now 2, B and TM and 1 lakh. Now third one C and sorry, I wrote it wrong. Okay, chalega. C, because that is an